Hey folks, producer Jim here from the Around the House radio show, America's #1 home improvement powerhouse. I've seen Eric test thousands of gadgets over his 30 plus years as a certified kitchen designer. And he's just dropped his hand-curated top 10 picks for 2026 that'll make your home smarter, safer, and way more efficient. Rush to AroundTheHouseOnline.com, top products, now. Click the bold names for Amazon deals and snag them before they're gone. Eric G's favorites for 2026. Your house deserves this upgrade.
When it comes to remodeling and renovating your home, there is no better show on your radio. This is Around the House with Eric G.
Everybody stop what you're doing, please!
From your back fence to the sidewalk, Eric will tell you how to keep it all in tip-top shape while helping you save a buck while doing it. If you like DIY projects, it takes a lot of practice to get good at it, and Eric is here to guide the way.
These are the wrong plans! These are the old plans! Oh.
All that and more on the fastest 2 hours of home improvement radio.
Stop it! Stop what you're doing!
Welcome to Around the House with Eric G.
Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Around the House with Eric G. This is the Pro Insider Special. This is for all of you out there that, well, you know, maybe you work in the trades. Maybe you are a framing contractor, you're a designer, you're a kitchen and bath specialist, maybe you work in a tile store. This show is for you. This is where we talk about stuff that relates to your business, what you're doing in and out every single day. Thanks for joining us. Well, we've got a little fun one today because I just wanted to talk about something that I've been going through. You know, we all need to get a little rest and relaxation, and we're coming up to Memorial Day weekend. And we have all been working hard over the last 24 months trying to get through all of this stuff. We had a busy year and then turned into survival mode with the pandemic. And now we're trying to survive again with increased prices across the board and just material shortages. And you know something? Sometimes we need a little break. I know I do from time to time. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of one this weekend. Of course, we've got the show this weekend, so that won't be affected. And we've got a killer one this weekend. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But really, you've got to get yourself a little recharge. And I've had a lot of people telling me this, and I'm going to take some advice. My rest and relaxation is going out and swinging the hammer a little bit, and I'm going to do some of that this weekend. I'm going to work on some projects and really enjoy myself getting a couple things knocked out. Listen to a little music, probably have a cold one, and enjoy myself. We've got a birthday, it's a graduation party to go to this weekend for some friends, and we're going to have a good time. And, of course, I'm going to light that barbecue up and do all those things. So am I going to push it hard this weekend? Not at all. Am I going to knock a couple things off the list? Absolutely. You know what I'm not going to do this weekend? Not going to be doing a lot of work stuff. I've got to recharge. So make sure you do some recharging as well. Because if you are going to work all weekend long, ignore the holiday, you know, that is something that you will pay the price for later. I have learned this the hard way. Not taking those breaks, not letting yourself recharge, get re-energized, that burnout can hit so hard. And I know it's tough. You've got stress. You got things lining up against you. You've got all these things going on. But turning off for a little bit and putting the phone down, even staying off social media a little bit. I think I might a little bit here this weekend from time to time as well. That's always hard for me. But you know something? Recharging, re-energizing, and then being innovative in your business model of whatever you're doing when you come out the other side is huge. You know, we've got so many things going on here with Around the House, and the show's expanding. More and more podcast listeners, which we appreciate every single one of you. I've got more TV shoots coming up. There's all these things going on. But and it's piled up. I've got a work list for a week or two that I could get knocked out right now. But a little bit of R&R, especially on a holiday weekend, will make you more effective on the other side. Now, when you come back from a big break like this. Maybe you're taking 2 or 3 days. And that's a big break for many. Because I know a lot of people out there that are playing catch-up, working 6 days a week, trying to keep their schedule on. And that's an unsustainable model, doing that for 365 days a year. So with that break, when you come back, start thinking about how you can be more efficient. What do I mean by more efficient? Take a look at what you do during the day. You a small contractor out there? One of my best recommendations for small contractors? Hire an answering service. You're like, what? Seriously. If you can hire an answering service to take down those messages, and they're all around in your local area, they are. You know, around us here, we have like a Ruby receptionist. We've got all these different companies that will answer your phone in your local dialect. They'll act like they work for you when they answer it. And they will take messages and you will have a recording of the phone call. You tired of having people fall through the cracks? That is the best way to do it. Because you can manage that, click off the boxes when you've returned phone calls, and when that goes right to there, and you can track how many phone calls you get because you can go through and count them versus going, I don't know how many calls I got today, I was busy. Doing some things like that can really make you more efficient and give you more time for some R&R. If you want to go out on the boat this weekend, or if you want to go out and do something, being more effective for you and your clients is going to be much cost effective for you because you're doing more. You know, it's funny. Multitasking. The more we look into multitasking, the more we realize it's not that efficient. So why not be able to focus on what you're doing? I'm the king of multitaskers. I am learning that it's not more efficient. So I've been trying to focus on single tasks, focus on them, do them right, get them out the door, go on to the next one. And if you could take some of those ancillary things off around you, if you're a contractor out there, like I've got some great friends that are contractors. The most effective ones, when they go meet clients, it's on, let's say it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, they're managing their crews. If Mrs. Smith doesn't want to meet on a Tuesday or Thursday, there's maybe an exception. Or maybe they're not going to be flexible enough to be your client. Because as you know, and as I know, as a kitchen and bath designer out there, interior designer, I've managed construction companies, all of those things. I have had the most successful clients in the world out there. Rock stars, brain surgeons, they can come up with a time to meet me on Tuesday. Why can't they meet you on Tuesday? They might be heading over to their friend's house on a Tuesday. They could come up with that time, but the contractor, maybe not so much. That means you're also not a priority. So don't go doing those Sunday afternoon meetings for your initial consultation. You're not that desperate. Give yourself some time to work out the details and take that rest and relaxation. Your family and friends will appreciate it. There's a good way. Your doctor will appreciate you taking some time and break. Maybe that'll help that blood pressure that the doctor keeps telling you when you go to the doctor. That's not me. I'm actually in a good spot. I'm healthier than I've been in a long, long time. 50 years old. Do I have a few little bumps and bruises on my body? Absolutely. But as far as healthy, blood work, heart rate, blood pressure, it's good. Now, some of that was removing some of the stresses from my life. And if you want to see what those are, listen to some previous Pro Insiders and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But that's part of it too. Having that R&R. And what are the things that are raising your blood pressure out there? And what can you do to make those either get fixed or go away? Do you have an employee that is driving you insane that you can't train? Maybe they've got the most horrible negative attitude. You got to choose whether you can work with them or find somebody that can do it even better. And getting rid of that negative attitude out of your business can be one of the best things you do for you and your employees. So something to think about. on this Thursday before Memorial Day weekend. Well, coming up on Saturday on Around the House with Eric G, we got a wild show ahead. First hour, we're going to talk about my top home security trips for summer travel. If you're heading out for the weekend, you'll want to catch that up. And then we're going to talk about creating some privacy in your backyard. Maybe you got a pool, hot tub, or you'd like to go out in the sun and catch a little suntan. And you don't like the neighbors sitting there at their dining room table staring at you doing all of that. There's ways to fix that. We'll talk about that. And then hour number 2, we dive in with Clyde Lewis from Ground Zero. We did this show about 3.5 years ago, and we started talking about what do you do if you've got a haunted house. And this is one wild and crazy show. If you listen to us on the radio, I always appreciate it. Make sure and listen to it there. But if you want the extended version, which has another 50% of the interview, which is like the back half of the interview, it's hiding over on Around the House with Eric G on the podcast, right where you're listening to this right now. And you can catch all of it on Saturday. So make sure you take a peek at that, because we have a wild show ahead. We're going to be talking about, ghosts in your house. What if you've got a haunting like that? What do you do about it? Should realtors be actually putting that in the description or disclosing to you that there's been reports of that? And then we're going to get into some wild stuff. What happens when the kitty goes to Hot Topic and brings home the Ouija board and decides to start opening up doorways into the underworld from what their point of view is? And this show's not going to be for everyone, but I love going into these things with him, jumping in and letting the record button go and just see where we go. And this one is not one to be missed. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the weekend. Get some R&R, turn off. That way you can focus on your business next week. I'm Eric G. Thanks for listening to Around the House.
Around the House with Eric G is produced by, designed by Eric G, in association with Salem Media, and distributed nationally by the Sun Broadcast Group. All rights reserved. Copyright 2020, designed by Eric G. We will be back next week. If you missed part of the show, check out the podcast of all of our shows at Around the House Online.
Hey folks, Jim here, producer of Around the House Show. You're loving the audio tips right now, but here's something new. Our full-length episodes and expert interviews are now on YouTube as video, so you can watch the demos, tool close-ups, and guest interviews, or just hit play and listen like a regular podcast. Just search Around the House Show on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button, and turn on notifications. It's free, and you'll get the best of both worlds, visual how-tos when you want them, audio when you're on the go. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast app too. Thanks. And now back to the show.